So the program for public transparency at FGV, Direito, EBAP, the law school, and the Public and Business Administration School have been undertaking research on basically compliance and implementation of transparency measures across Brazil since 2011, in effect when the Access to Information Law came into effect. In 2011, it was passed, and in 2012 came into effect. Basically, the measurement of compliance is achieved through two means. We are sending requests for information to governments or state institutions, and we are measuring website transparency, as we call it, active transparency. What we find, this was the 5th year, of course, of the Freedom of Information Law's birthday, so to speak, since 2012. And the law is extremely variable in terms of compliance. We have the federal government, the federal executive, which is complying very well with the law. In fact, better than most developed countries, including my own, Canada, which is recovering from a period of non-compliance. And in terms of website transparency, the federal government is also doing very well. And then we have other institutions, especially most notable would be the judiciary and what we call the Ministério Público, which is the public prosecutor's office. And these two institutions have not been complying with the law as one might expect, especially given that these institutions are best representative of the rule of law in Brazil and pretty much anywhere. And so the major issue that I see with this law is that at the subnational level, in the municipalities and at the states, we simply don't have supervision, as we say, oversight of the law. We need oversight institutions, as we have in Mexico, for instance. We have what's called the National Institute for Access to Information that oversees compliance and implementation of the law. We simply do not have that at the subnational level. And what we see are results that the states, not all states, but a lot of the states and a lot of the municipalities are just not complying the way they should with the law. And so we're finding response rates of anywhere from 40 to 60%, whereas the federal government is responding to requests for information at the levels of 70 to 90%. And so the real issue here, as far as I'm concerned, is that subnational levels of government are more important for your day-to-day. Your dealings with government are with teachers, policemen, people who work on the street, as we say, street-level bureaucrats from day to day. So local government should, in fact, be more transparent than federal government in a sense because it's more important to our daily lives. This is not what we see in Brazil, and it's curious, especially when you look at the contrast with North America, especially Canada and the US in particular. You find that local transparency is stronger than federal transparency. And in Brazil, it's the reverse. The federal government is more transparent than the local governments. And so I think that we have to think of ways of promoting greater compliance at the local level. And I think that this entails institutional reconfiguration, meaning that we need to pass laws making sure that oversight is achieved at the local level.